Welcome to this episode of the Conscious Business Coffee Break, where we take a few moments to explore what's happening in the conscious business movement, expand awareness, and encourage your efforts in conscious business. Greetings, everyone. I'm Stephen Donaco of the Conscious Business Enterprise, a division of Humanities team. And today on the program, conscious use of a company's products. And this topic was primarily inspired by an article in The Guardian about technology firms that have very large contracts with the U.S. government that support the administration's anti-immigrant agenda. And the subhead to the article was that Amazon, Palantir, and Microsoft provide tools that aid surveillance, detention, and deportation, according to a report. So the report that's referred to there is the report that was recently produced by a research firm called Empower and commissioned by Mi Gente, the National Immigration Project, and the Immigrant Defense Project. And basically the report found that these companies provide tools that aid surveillance, detention, and deportation of individuals targeted by U.S. administration's anti-immigrant agenda. So in the last year, technology companies have been under increased scrutiny for the harmful ways that their platforms and their products are being used. And these include Amazon Web Services, which is a subsidiary of Amazon that sells cloud computing services to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, which is also known as ICE for short, and to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Now, Amazon Web Services is the backbone for systems that store and compare biometric data that, quote, detect and prevent illegal entry, unquote, into the U.S., according to the Department of Homeland Security. In the article, it says Amazon Web Services also markets and sells facial recognition software to police. And this is all very ironic as Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos presents himself as a philanthropist and ethical leader. So at that level doesn't appear to be a very conscious thing, saying one thing and then having products actually do something that's very questionable and not so life affirmative. The other company, Palantir, is a CIA-backed data mining firm that plays a significant role in ICE case management and analytics, and its systems share data among local and federal authorities and agents. The Department of Homeland Security also has agreements for biometric information sharing with the Mexican government, relying on a cloud-based application that has partnerships with both Amazon Web Services and Microsoft. Now, with regard to Microsoft in particular, this relationship with these agencies sparked internal backlash from Microsoft employees earlier in the year, and many employees posted an open letter to Microsoft's internal message boards protesting Microsoft's work with ICE. The letter said, quote, "We believe that Microsoft must take an ethical stand and put children and families above profits," unquote, read the letter that was addressed to the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella. Now, this caused him to write a response in which he said, quote, "I'm appalled at the abhorrent policy of separating immigrant children from their families at the southern border of the United States. Any engagement with any government has been and will be guided by our ethics and principles. We will continue to have this dialogue both within our company and with our stakeholders." Now, of course, with all of this, when we read these stories and we learn about the way companies' products are used to do not so life affirmative things, and then we experience or we hear these stories of people within the companies now pushing back against that. Of course, we know companies aren't conscious. Companies in and of themselves are legal entities created in the context of a system that allows for this organization, which we call a company or a corporation, to actually be treated in most cases as if it were a person, which of course it's not. It's not conscious. So companies aren't conscious, people are. And this is why that when companies are doing things that its employees find to be morally questionable, and even life unaffirmative, people are going to step up and speak to their own values, and will be courageous in speaking their own truth about what they feel is right, in the way that it's the products of the company it works for is either contributing positively to society or not. So this is what happens when conscious people work for companies that are questionably conscious or not conscious at all. So the life affirmative note here is that that these companies have faced internal growing pressure to cancel these contracts, or at the very least to question them, because consciousness expands. And so this is the other thing that in the context of us as spiritual beings having a human experience, that we are in a space, we are in an environment, we are in an experience that in which consciousness continues to expand, and it will expand regardless of what individual entities such as corporations do and what they sell, and even what those leaders of those companies purport to be their values. So consciousness is always expanding. Therefore, when people sense that these organizations, these entities, these non-persons that they're working for are doing things that are not conscious, people will, in their own consciousness, step up and advocate for something better, more generative, more life affirmative. So as it relates to the Conscious Business Declaration, you see at very least two principles at work. Principle number 5, business must behave as a positive and proactive member of the local and global communities in which it operates. And then principle 7, when aligned with oneness, business is the most powerful engine on earth for creating prosperity and flourishing for all. And we might even add to that, in addition to prosperity and flourishing, in this context of this article today, we could say safety, protection, and justice. So when aligned with oneness, business is the most powerful engine on earth for creating prosperity and flourishing and safety and protection and justice and life for all. So I will put links to the main article that I mentioned at the outset in the comments to the video, and there are a couple other links that are related as well that I'll add to the comments subsequent to the video. So with that, we leave you with the Conscious Business Coffee Break. Enjoy your weekend. Take time to relax, take care of yourself, and then we will see you again next Wednesday, 9 a.m. U.S. Central Time for another edition of the Conscious Business Coffee Break. Peace, everyone.